Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. We have a massive amount of General Hospital drama to unpack. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get right into the absolute madness happening in Port Charles. I cannot believe they are doing this to Laura again. I am sitting here in the dark. It is way past my bedtime. I just finished watching the latest episode and my mind is absolutely racing. I am literally sitting here staring at my screen and I just need to vent to people who actually understand, because this situation with Ezra Boyle and Laura Collins is driving me absolutely insane. Like, are we seriously supposed to believe this is going to end well? Because it is not. It is going to end in an absolute bloodbath, and I am already stressed out just thinking about it. I mean, I have been watching this show religiously since 2015, and I have seen some truly wild alliances in my time, but this one takes the cake for the most dangerously naive team-up in the history of Port Charles. I just cannot wrap my head around what Laura is thinking right now. And let us just talk about Ezra for a second. Can we talk about Ezra? Because this guy is a walking, talking disaster area. His incompetence has put him on such incredibly thin ice with Jen Sidwell lately that you can practically hear it cracking under his feet every single time he breathes. I mean, Ezra actually tried to stand up to Sidwell a bit recently. He tried to grow a backbone and act like he had some sort of leverage. And what happened, Sidwell literally pulled a gun on him and forced him to fall, right? Back in line like the obedient little henchman he is supposed to be. You do not play games with a man like Jen Sidwell. You just do not. Sidwell's not some low-level street thug. He is a terrifyingly calm, calculating monster who will end your life without his heart rate even going up. So now Ezra is terrified, and honestly he should be. At this point, Ezra is worried sick that if he cannot prove useful enough to Sidwell, he is going to get wiped off the map completely. Eliminated. Erased. Because Sidwell has absolutely no problem getting rid of people who are expendable. We have seen it before with how he treats everyone around him. If you are not serving a purpose for Jen Sidwell, you are taking up space and he will remove you. That alone has given Ezra a massive, undeniable reason to fear for his life every single day he wakes up. Remember when Laura walked in on him, completely wasted at the Brown Dog bar? He was calling her high and mighty to the bartender because he was so drunk and stressed out about being in too deep. The guy is an emotional wreck who cannot handle the pressure of the criminal underworld. But what does Ezra do? Does he run? Does he skip town and change his name and move to a deserted island? No, of course not. Because this is General Hospital, and people make the absolute worst possible choices when their lives are on the line. Ezra is now risking even more by teaming up with Laura Collins on a plot to bring Sidwell down. I am sorry, but what Laura Collins, the mayor of Port Charles, do they honestly think the two of them can outsmart an international criminal mastermind who has eyes and ears everywhere? I mean, Ezra is literally the guy who was giving Laura friendly warning type advice just a few weeks ago, telling her how dangerous Sidwell is, and now he is plotting a master takedown with her. Make it make sense. Wait, I am getting ahead of myself. Let me just process this for a second and try to see it from their perspective. I know Ezra would love the chance to finally have his freedom again. I get it. The guy is suffocating under Sidwell's thumb, and he wants out. And Laura is always trying to save everyone because she has that massive hero complex. She has been fighting villains since the Luke and Laura days, taking on the Cassidines, taking on Helena, you name it. But this feels like a plan that could easily, and I mean SO, easily backfire in the most spectacular and devastating way possible. Laura is playing a political game, but Sidwell is playing a deadly game of survival and revenge. Because, let us be real for a second here, Jen Sidwell has become an extremely important character on this show. He has a massive presence. He is not just some random antagonist of the week that Dante Falconeri is going to arrest and throw in a holding cell at the PCPD. Since Sidwell is such a significant baddie, his inevitable downfall is going to be epic. It has to be epic. It is going to be part of a major storyline with huge explosions and gunfights and massive dramatic reveals. I mean, Sonny Corinthos and Ethan Lovett are currently forming an alliance to take Sidwell down. Because of what he did to Holly Sutton, that is how a villain like Sidwell goes down. In other words, there is absolutely no way it will be as simple as Laura and Ezra emerging victorious with their little secret takedown scheme. It is a fun idea, sure. It is a fun idea to have Ezra and Laura join forces because it gives Laura something proactive to do. instead of just sitting in the mayor's office looking worried and dealing with city council meetings. But it is so doubtful they will truly be able to accomplish much of anything. Like, what is their actual plan to out-bureaucrat him, to catch him on a zoning violation? Sidwell is running a massive, dangerous operation, and he is furious over Marco Rios' death. He is out for blood, and Laura and Ezra are just standing in his way with a half-baked idea. Even Ava Jerome knows this is a terrible idea. Ava literally visited Laura and insisted that Sidwell is going to get what he wants anyway, so she shouldn't fight it. And if Ava Jerome is telling you to back down from a villain, you need to listen. Ava has survived Ryan Chamberlain. She has survived the mob. She knows a lethal threat when she sees one. Instead of working, this whole alliance is just going to give Sidwell another reason to turn against Ezra and want him completely gone. Sidwell is not stupid. He is going to figure this out. He is probably already figuring it out. Sidwell could ultimately find out that Ezra and Laura are working together behind his back, and the second he gets proof of that, it is game over. That could seal Ezra's grim fate instantly. And I am legitimately terrified of what that fate looks like, because the writers have been going pretty dark lately. Ezra does not want to become another body in Laura's trunk. Remember when they did that whole body in the trunk storyline years ago? Yeah, I am getting major flashbacks to that right now. Ezra does not want to end up in a trunk, or floating in the harbor, or buried out in the woods somewhere. But unfortunately, Ezra could indeed become a corpse that is meant to send Laura a very disturbing, very personal message. I can see the scene playing out in my head right now, and I am dreading it. Sidwell is going to catch him. He is going to look Ezra in the eyes and eliminate him without a second thought, probably, without even blinking. And then, because Sidwell is a complete psychopath who loves theatricality and psychological torture, he might show off Ezra in his deceased state to Laura. He is going to take a moment to rub Laura's face in what she has done. He is going to make her look at the gruesome consequences of her little rebellion. Can you even imagine how sick and twisted that is going to be? Can you even imagine the guilt Laura is going to feel? Sidwell is going to completely destroy her psychologically. Perhaps Sidwell will blame Laura for filling Ezra's head with betrayal ideas and making sure he faced a fatal outcome. He is going to stand there in his terrifyingly calm voice and say, "Look what you did, Laura. He was alive until you convinced him to play the hero. His blood is on your hands. It is going to be so twisted and so dark. And I am honestly not sure if my heart can take watching Laura go through that level of trauma again. She has already been framed for murder by this guy. But wait, it gets worse. Because Sidwell is not going to stop with just punishing Ezra. Once Ezra is out of the picture, Sidwell is going to need a new way to keep Laura in line and ensure she stops trying to take him down. And what is Laura's biggest weakness? Her family, her loved ones. Sidwell might warn that Kevin Collins could be next. He is going to threaten Kevin. Kevin Collins is literally the sweetest, most patient man in Port Charles. The man is a saint. He has dealt with Ryan Chamberlain's madness, for crying out loud. He does not need Jen Sidwell coming after him. If Sidwell touches one hair on Kevin's head, I swear I am going to riot. And he will not stop at Kevin either, because Sidwell has no moral compass whatsoever. He is going to threaten little Ace Cassadine. A baby Sidwell is going to threaten a literal infant if Laura does not stay in line and stop all her plotting. Ace is just a baby, Esme's baby. And Laura has fought so incredibly hard to protect that little boy and give him a normal life away from all the Cassadine madness. This is exactly the kind of unhinged evil villain behavior we have come to expect from Sidwell, but it still makes my blood boil to think about him using a child as leverage against the grandmother. Am I the only one who is completely stressed out by this? I know some people are loving this storyline. I read the forums. I see the group chats. I know some fans are like, oh, Ezra's going to redeem himself. Laura's going to take back her city. It's going to be amazing. But personally, I think you guys are being way, way too optimistic. Have we been watching the same soap opera? The writers love to torture Laura. They love to push her to the absolute brink of despair before she gets a win. They are setting Ezra up to be the sacrificial lamb in this story, and it is so obvious. Okay, maybe I am being too pessimistic. Maybe I am just sleep deprived and emotional. Maybe Ezra will somehow pull off a miracle and survive this. Maybe he will outsmart Sidwell, give Laura the evidence she needs, and ride off into the sunset with a clean slate. No, who am I kidding? I am contradicting myself because I kind of want to see a happy ending, but that is never going to happen. He is a dead man walking. I just kind of wish the writers would give us a break from the constant doom and gloom. But I guess that is why we watch soap operas, right? We love the drama, we love the stakes, even when it absolutely destroys us emotionally. So here we are, just waiting for the other shoe to drop. General Hospital spoilers say Ezra and Laura's alliance could lead to terrifying news. And I'm telling you right now that terrifying news is Ezra's tragic, gruesome demise. I am gonna keep watching because I am hopelessly addicted to this show. And I need to see how Sunny and Ethan eventually make Sidwell pay. But I am definitely watching these Laura and Ezra scenes through my fingers. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with me or if you think I am totally off base, because I really need to know I am not going crazy here. Stay safe out there, Port Charles fans.